That is the focus of tonight's angle. Now, the new, more radicalized Democrat Party is calling a lot about today's America racist.
A nation which in many ways was created, and I'm sorry to have to say this, from way back on racist principles.
It is clearly an imperfect, unfair, unjust, and racist capitalist economy.
And quest for a racist and xenophobic wall.
The president's policies are not about immigration, it's about ethnicity and racism.
And now they say that criticizing the condition of America's most dilapidated cities itself is racist.
The way that I see all of this is, Donald Trump has always been a racist.
It seems to be a pretty, again, nakedly racist kind of appeal.
The president, as always, is lying. He's tweeting out racist thoughts.
I think he's fully cast his lot with polarization, with making these racist appeals. He thinks this is the ticket to getting reelected.
In a series of weekend tweets, President Trump was merely pointing out the obvious. Democrat officials, in this case local Congressman Elijah Cummings, have failed some of America's once spectacularly beautiful cities. And of course, when there's money to be made or misery to exploit, the founding father of racial hoaxes himself, Al Sharpton, is bound to pop up.
Little did I know that Mr. Trump was going to, on the eve of this, attack the congressman from this city. And not only the congressman, but the people of this city, in the most bigoted and racist way. He attacks everybody. He has a particular venom for blacks and people of color.
Wow, it didn't seem like Sharpton believed that when he was sucking up to Trump in the 80s, the 90s, and even the 2000s. But none of Sharpton's shady past, the Crown Heights riots, Tawana Brawley, none of that matters to today's far-left Democrat Party, because today and yesterday they wrapped him up in a protective embrace. Baltimore is a city that time and horrid Democrat leadership have almost left behind completely. It's heartbreaking. I love Baltimore. But who can forget these moments during the Obama era? Remember the Freddie Gray riots? When Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake was fretting about the rights of the rioters.
Worked with the police and instructed them to do everything that they could to make sure that the protesters were able to exercise their right to free speech. We also gave those who wished to destroy space to do that as well.
That'll go down as one of the all-time stupidest things anyone has ever said. I have a simple question. Is Senator Bernie Sanders going to have to apologize for what he said about Baltimore back in 2015?
But anyone who took the walk that we took around this neighborhood would not think you're in a wealthy nation. You would think that you were in a third world country.
Well, Trump's gruff and provocative style, it may enrage Democrats and even a few Trump-resistance Republicans, but he's right. Baltimore is a once great American city in obvious decline. The New York Times documented this back in March in this really long piece focused mostly on crime titled "The Tragedy of Baltimore." So are they racist too? And according to the Baltimore Sun, the city is on track for 5 years in a row with more than 300 homicides. It's seen 11 homicides in the past week and 39 homicides in the past 30 days. The filth in the city, that's off the charts. A 2018 PBS documentary noted that Baltimore had been fighting a generations-long rodent issue. Is PBS racist? 3 months ago, the Baltimore Sun railed against the city's perpetual trash problem. Racist. Here's the city's former mayor, Catherine Pugh, last December.
What the hell? We should just take all this down. Ooh, you can smell the rats. Oh my God, you can smell the dead animals.
That was in September, and glad her sense of smell was working, but like her predecessors, she had no common sense. Pugh became the second Baltimore mayor to resign in scandal in less than a decade. Now, another barometer is drug deaths. Nationally, over the past year, we've started going down in the right direction. Opioid deaths were down 5%. But in Baltimore, the number went up. Nearly 800 people died there compared to 692 the year before. So my question is, does railing against Trump help solve any of this? Has screaming racism helped anyone?
Help us, because we're helping y'all. Y'all want our votes. Y'all need to help us. Once y'all start helping us, maybe the neighborhood, maybe Baltimore will get better.
Whether Trump's Baltimore tweets were partly a political calculation or not, he's highlighted something both Democrats and Republicans often prefer to ignore: the plight of urban America, especially under liberal politicians who have in the past at times stoked racial fears rather than just do what's right, what works. They refuse to take any responsibility for wasting millions on policies that don't deliver results. Their constituents deserve better, certainly than politicians who spend time defending the indefensible. I think Trump truly believes that we can make urban America great again. Elijah Cummings, he could have helped the city of Baltimore by working with the president instead of demonizing him for the past 2 years. My friends, it's not Trump who's given up on urban America. The charlatans calling him a racist have. And that's the angle. Now,